Hello and welcome. This is Cricbuzz Live. Today we have match number 59 that we're going to be talking about. Match number 59, which means that the league phase is pretty much coming to an end. And usually when at the end of the league phase, Mumbai and Chennai are playing each other, you say, numbers 9 and 10, but usually you say, oh, one's got 9 wins and the other's got 10 wins. But right now, one is at number 9 and one's at number 10. Still 9 and 10, but just the perspective has to change, right? They're still top of the table if you turn the tables. That's right. I read that banner at the stadium. As Michael has told you, I can see the stadium from my house. I can see everything. Hello, I'm Gaurav Kapur. I have Shaun Pollock and Michael Vaughan here with me. Polly, who is chuckling about something, is a bit of a nervous laugh because you remember your days with Mumbai and you say, you never thought it would get this bad.
Well, I just can't believe that a person who can see the stadium is not told the viewers that a toss has been delayed and that one of the floodlights isn't working properly because, I've got that feeling all the way from here in South Africa. So, yeah, it is a strange sensation to have Mumbai at 9 and 10, playing to see who comes up basically bottom of the table. But, I suppose eventually you're going to have a season where you maybe will gather a few thoughts, gather a bit of experience for some of the players, but forget the performance.
Gather a few thoughts. I love the positive, gentle, positive spin, the gentle, positive non-spinner Shaun Pollock puts on things. We've got Michael Vaughan joining us from the UK on the back of a brilliant sandwich, from what we could hear. It was yummy, right? There was crunch, there was slurping sounds, there was the odd that we got from you of approval. Did you make that sandwich for yourself?
Yeah, very nice sandwich. One thing's for sure, when we start predicting, you're going to have first choice tonight because you're closest to that ground. I think the toss has just happened. Is that correct? Is the lights back on now? Can you tell us if the floodlights are working, Gary?
They only came on after I stood on my terrace and said, "Let there be light." But they just value me way too much. They really do. Talking about sandwiches, we're talking about these two teams that are just sandwiched there right at the end, right? Just below. So many layers of delicious cold cuts and meats and lettuce and tomato and bread. And somehow these two have just gotten real soggy at the end, like a badly constructed sandwich. They've made a bit of a mess of this season, haven't they, both these teams, Polly, in different ways?
Yeah, they have. Obviously, team-wise, I was a bit surprised by what Mumbai did at the auction, to be totally honest. And that's proved to be the case that maybe their auction policy wasn't the best. And then you look at Chennai, and I suppose it goes down to choice of captain. I know Dhoni stood down, and I don't think the Jadeja part has worked out too well. But I think just, the leadership there on the field maybe has found them wanting. Also, a few of their players, obviously, that they would like to have played that they've missed out on. But it's just been so surprising. You keep trying to put your finger on it, but, to have these two teams at the bottom, as you say, is just a complete surprise. What if they got 9 titles between them?
Yeah.
You couldn't have foreseen that at all, even with some of the selections that were made.
Yeah, let's have a look at the points table to show you what exactly we're talking about. Because, Chennai, it's looking a little better for Chennai than it is for Mumbai because Mumbai have just won the 2 games and one of them was a heist against Gujarat. That was a complete heist. So you're looking at, this season of 11 games and you're saying there's just so little for them to take out of that. For Chennai, there was an experiment. That experiment went woefully wrong. There is something that's up there. And Polly, before I get Michael in, because Michael was on the show yesterday as well and said that this may be, we may have already seen Ravindra Jadeja in yellow for the last time.
Whoa. Well, I'm hearing of rumblings in the camp. But I must admit, I'd be very surprised if that was the case. To have been captain one moment, things that have seriously gone pear-shaped behind the scenes for him to end up leaving the franchise. But time will tell. Sometimes they say where there's smoke, there's fire. We'll have to see.
Why
is Vaughan? Come on, Vaughan, give us your theory on it.
I don't understand one thing. Is that if you've got, do you get sent home because of a bruised ego? Rib. I meant rib. Sorry, rib. Michael, rib.
Oh, it's just a hunch. It's a sniff. It's as Polly said. There's whispers and rumours that it's not all well, but it never is when you're losing games of cricket. Whatever team you're in, there's always a few fallouts when the team are not performing quite as well as they would like. But he's been there forever. Now and again in life, in sport, a change is a good thing for both the franchise and the player. So watch this space. He may stay at Chennai, and it might all just be a little bit of huff and puff, but we may see him playing somewhere else next year.
All right, so this is what MS Dhoni said at the toss. He said someone like a Jaddu, he's one of those who helps us try out combinations. It's tough to replace him. Don't think anyone can field better. No replacement in that aspect. Well, I mean, that sounds like a bit of a press release, doesn't it, Polly? Doesn't say anything. It's just like, it's like your graduation paper from the School of Obvious.
But also the focus is on his fielding. I think he can bat and bowl pretty well as well.
Yep.
I mean, his fielding is gun, don't get me wrong. But what have they made? No changes, Chennai again. So they feel like they're playing a confident brand now. They feel like they found their feet and trying to head off in a positive direction. Mathematically, is there still scenario.com?
Stop it.
3 victories and then other people do or don't win. There's the team. And
I mean,
people
will just have to drop out of the tournament, to be honest, for them to make it. What are they? They're 8 points from 11, which means that the maximum they can get to is 14. And as you can see, there's enough of a traffic jam there, right? We've got one team of 18, one of 16, we've got 2 and 14. So unless the others just stop playing, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think that Chennai have a chance. But let's have a look at the Mumbai team as well. And there's the big news coming from there. Birthday boy Shaun Pollock, legend of Mumbai, without a doubt. I was quite convinced that if they've given him such a long rope, they're going to play him on his birthday. Who does this on someone's birthday? That's just mean. But he's not there. Tristan Stubbs comes in his place, so he's making his debut for Mumbai. And Hrithik Shawkeen comes back into the team for Murugan Ashwin. But Vaughnie, here we were talking about how long the rope would be for Pollard, because it was getting hard to watch him as a fan just struggle so much. But doing it on his birthday, come on.
Yeah, that's cruel. That is cruel. I mean, his contract states that he must play every game, but particularly on his birthday, he's got to be playing. Realistically, it's understandable. They had to make the change. Tristan Stubbs, I don't know a great deal about. I'm sure Polly will be able to give us a bit more, but I believe he's a hard-hitting player. I'm surprised they've not gone back to the Del Brevis, who I thought was a revelation for a couple of games. Young, going to make mistakes, but I'm surprised they haven't gone back to him.
Do you think this is just, we've already seen Brevis. We know what he can do. We've got a couple of games left. There's nothing to do in this tournament for us except just kind of try out some youngsters and see if they fit into our plans next year.
Yeah, it could be. And Tristan Stubbs, I mean, he hits it a long ways. He's actually a wicketkeeper batter. He's 21 years of age. So he had a sensational T20 here domestically in our South African competition not so long ago. But I mean, in saying that, he's never been in a Proteas squad. He's never really made any international teams, I think, whether it be one day or T20. So he is an exciting prospect, as is Devalt Brevis. But none of them are international stage. And that was why I was so surprised by Mumbai's policy is it's such a big franchise. It's almost like if you're talking like one of the big soccer clubs like Manchester United or something. It's often the international stars that come in and make a big impact because there's a bit of pressure. There's extra pressure on your shoulders and you have to cope with that pressure playing at such a big franchise. So for them to have gone with 2 non-international players, yes, they come out with a bit of a reputation under 19 World Cup and domestically. And even Tim Davids is not really the same kind of classes as what you've had from, for example, like a Pollard, who was at his international best when he was playing as much as he was. So a little bit of a surprise, but I suppose you do wonder what goes on behind the scenes at net practices. They've obviously seen something that they like about Tristan Stubbs, and maybe this is the opportunity to see if you stick with him going forward and what he can possibly do. But it would be a challenge. I mean, I don't think he would have even ever played a a game on international surface. I mean, Indian surfaces, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been in an under-19 trip to the country, but nothing under pressure. So interesting.
Best way to teach someone to swim is to just throw them in the deep end, right? So I think that's what Mumbai is doing, and it's probably a positive move. You like it. You say, all right, youngsters coming and going, but let's not talk about who's come in, but let's talk about who's going out. And Michael Vaughan is our farewell party expert here. He tends to see it before anybody else can, that the lights are going off and the music is dimming. Michael, is that happened for Kieron Pollard? Is it farewell, is it goodbye for Kieron Pollard, you think, at Mumbai? Is that the end of this epic love story?
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to have the impact that he's had going forward. Whatever happens with Mumbai, they seem to stay quite consistent, and I'm sure Kieron Pollard will be around the Mumbai Indians next year. Whether he plays as much, whether he's a player, I'm sure they'll have him around. He seems to be a part of the furniture. The documentary that I saw, I can't remember which channel did the documentary. Yeah. He seems to be very prominent in everything that they did. So he's not playing today, but whether we see him again this year, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure we'll see him around the Mumbai Indian sides going forward. And whether that's as a player or a mentor, as a coach, I'm still thinking that would be around the team.
I wasn't a documentary. That was a reality show, actually, that you saw. Just one season. Can't call that a documentary. But if we can document some amazing facts over here, which is that young Shaun Pollock here had a hand with Rohit Sharma getting the job that he did. Is that true, sir? Is that true? Is there any reality to that?
Well, we definitely identified him in the early years as a person who could be a possible captain. He was on our selection panel, actually, in the 2 years that I was there, in 11 and 12. And he was very mature beyond his years in many ways. Whether he was able to do the captaincy or wanted to do it as early as he did, that was going to be the big question. But since he's taken over, he delivered 5 titles, and he's gone from strength to strength. And his performances have been great as well. So he's been fantastic for the Mumbai franchise, as has Dhoni been for CSK. And from a captaincy leadership perspective, I think he settled on his own style quite quickly, and then managed to implement that and stick with that. I think also that the timing of it was Ricky Ponting was playing at that stage. So I think that would have helped just a little bit from the thought process perspective. But he's done fantastically.
What did you see in him specifically at that point in time? Is there anything that kind of just struck out?
Yeah, he seemed a little bit unflappable in many ways. He was a character who was pretty calm in the background, and obviously you also have a few cricketing discussions, and the reasoning behind some of the decisions that he wanted to be made or suggested to be made some really good cricketing sense, and I think that's what you kind of look for in the younger guy. And he had the respect. He played in that World Cup that they ended up winning I couldn't have been more than 19, 20, was he at the time?
Yeah.
And so he commanded a lot of respect by the way he had performed. And everyone respected him and really thought highly of him as a cricketer, and obviously as a thinker as well.
And then, of course, your fellow, he was not support staff that time he was playing, Sachin Tendulkar had a hand in picking the other bloke in yellow today, MS Dhoni, as captain. And Michael, he has said that I used to stand next to him in first slip when he was the wicketkeeper, and I just loved the insight that he had in the game. And I thought that he would be a good leader. Is that just a post-event anecdote, or, as captain and as, grooming perhaps another captain, or finding that in someone or someone finding that in you? You can do that. You're fielding next to them is probably the best position to kind of suss that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's a small part of I guess, being seen as a future captain, is that ability to see the game, think slightly differently about the game, but more so, it's the way that you are. It's your charisma and the way that you're going to manage people and manage different kinds of personalities, staying very calm. I think the best captains stay very, very calm, and MS Dhoni's been the best across all the captains that I've seen, is staying nice and cool, nice and calm, very clear. He understands, I think, from the playing perspective, that you do make mistakes. He never seems to lose his rag with anybody that makes a mistake. It's just the human nature of playing the game. So yeah, I mean, I guess when you see so many players that come into dressing rooms, you're always as a senior pro or as a captain looking to see who could be the next captains or the next leadership group. I mean, Polly mentioned that Rohit was a part of the selection panel. That's what you do in teams. You bring players into that kind of leadership group positions to just find out, get them in conversations about the game, about team selection, give them little management roles within the group, go and manage that group of players or that personality in the dressing room. Can you help out? Because an individual captain can't do everything. And the best captains from what I've seen and the best leaders delegate, and they delegate and realize that, you know, your style of personality might not necessarily manage every personality in that dressing room perfectly, but there'll be one or two that are close to you that'll be better off doing that. So you just delegate. And that's the art of captaincy, is making sure you don't do too much. Delegate, let everyone else do the work, and you just take all the plaudits.
Just, I mean, a quick question, because I think it's so interesting, because you don't know if this is going to be Dhoni v Rohit the last time, but we always keep thinking that with Dhoni, is that will he come back, will he go, oh, he's no longer captain, then he comes back as captain, starts winning games. So you never know with him, but it could be the last time. So therefore, I just want to tap your both your experiences just a little bit more on captaincy. When you're being kind of groomed or you're being tapped as a future captain, I'm sure there's always, you know, one or two candidates. It's never a shoe-in. But does someone tell you when that's happening that, hey, we're looking at you, so just like, you know, keep your nose clean? Polly?
Well, some occasions it is. Some, you know, there's a natural progression where maybe someone's captain for a period of time and they're going to replace them. The other times, it comes as a complete surprise. They'll have a bad series or something like that, and then the selectors say, that's it, we've had enough. So there wasn't an opportunity to groom, and then the next person just has to take the reins and move on with it, you know, without much preparation whatsoever. I mean, in my case, for example, it was after Hansi had the map fixing allegations, and I was thrown in the deep end, and off you go. So yeah, I think ideally what you would like it to be someone where, you know, even for like a 6-month period where you chat with them and say, just have a look at it from this perspective, because there's a good chance you might be the captain coming forward.
Michael, yours wasn't too seamless as well.
No, that's not enough. Test match against South Africa, decided to hand it in, but I'd got the one-day job before that, so I'd kind of been given a bit of captaincy experience through one-day cricket, so I kind of knew the Test captaincy was going to come, but I didn't really expect it to come so soon. In England, we've always had Feck, you know, future England captain. Michael Atherton had the tag in the 90s. I kind of got given it towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s. As did Trescothick, he was called the same. So they were kind of hedging their bets around our time with one or two of us. Alistair Cook got given it quite soon. Joe Root was given it, you know. So there are players, and the problem with English cricket at the minute in Test matches, there isn't a Feck. You know, there isn't a player that you can really look at and see being the England captain in 2 or 3 years' time. Ben Stokes, I don't see being in the role for 6 or 7 years. I see him as being a bit of a short-term fix. And just at this minute, I don't see a Feck in the England side. Zach Crawley's got a chance, Ollie Pope potentially, but you wouldn't dare give them that tag just at the minute, because they're not really a guaranteed place in the side yet. They'll hope to be that in the next few months, get a few runs, be more consistent, and then they might get given the Feck title.
Feck title for Chennai. Come on, guys. Real quick. Feck title for Chennai. Future, not England captain, future Chennai captain. So the FCC will shut you down. So the FCC, come on. The future Chennai captain. If not, Ravindra Jadeja, because we don't know what's happened there. I hope it's clear at some point in time. But, you know, from MS, you're never going to get the direct answer there. So keep guessing. But if not him, who do you see from this current lot? Polly?
Gakwad? Is he too young at this stage? Yeah.
He is. What is he? 20?
Maybe down the line.
Let's have a look. Let's see how old he is. That's interesting. A couple of people are naming 25. Spot on. There you go. Bingo. Michael, for you?
I don't see anyone at the minute in the squad that's standing out. It'll be probably that they wait and see what happens in the T20 World Cup to see if there's any standout captains that have not got positions, and they might try and take that player to Chennai. Ben Stokes, if he goes all right, there could be a captain of Chennai.
There, nice. That's a Cricbuzz Ask Cricbuzz live question. Actually, it is which of these two teams do you see Ben Stokes going for? Because when you finish at 9 and 10, right? You know that you're gonna let a few players go, so you'll have a bit of a purse for the mini auction next year. So Mumbai and Chennai both will be looking to replace their West Indies all-rounders sooner or later. If Ben Stokes is available next season, which team would you like to see him play? Michael's saying that he'd like to see him play for Chennai, not just play, but captain them. Okay, nice. Polly, you and Polly's, come on, you want to see him play for Mumbai, right? No?
Yeah. I think he'd be a good fit for Mumbai, to be honest. Very much in the role of what if Pollard is doing is, more from a batting perspective with a bit of a contribution with the ball from time to time. So I think he'd be that kind of box office that Mumbai would be looking for. As I say, I'm a bit surprised by the personnel they went for in the auction, but Ben Stokes seems like a great fit. But he's a great fit anyway, really, if he plays the way he can.
That's right. Can he play the whole tournament, though? Because the way the test team's calendar is in England, you know that it's 14 games is a little tough. Well, all right. Let's tell you what's happened in the toss. Mumbai's won the toss and decided to chase. Teams batting first have been winning off late, but there was a team that chased last night and chased it quite gloriously. So Mumbai is going to be chasing. Let's talk about Ishan Kishan, because we're talking about young wicketkeeper batters. There's been a lot of focus on him, right? Obviously, Mumbai was very aggressive for him in the auction. They really wanted him, and they showed that they wanted him. And he started off well and then kind of lost his way, lost his shape. Across Cricbuzz Live, English and Hindi, people were saying how his hands are not going through, his feet are not moving correctly. He just looked like he just had he had a bat, but no confidence to wield it. But he's got some runs since, and we've got a quote from him. So let's put that up on the screen. It's almost like the fine print when you buy insurance. So I'll read it out for you. Initially, when I started the tournament, I wasn't overthinking. I was just going and batting like I used to. My focus was on giving a good start to the team. But I think later on somewhere I was trying to finish the game. Maybe I lost my focus in the first 6 overs. I had a chat with the coach and captain also, and they just said, if you can give us a good start, it'll be helpful for the team. So you don't have to think about finishing the game. If you're set there in the middle, you will anyway do that. That's interesting, Polly, isn't it? Oh, like you should avoid 3 parts: the start, the middle, and the end. Don't try to read the end when you're just starting the book.
Yeah, the only thing, I don't know. I find it hard to buy all that stuff. It's like overthinking or not thinking. You just got to think. It's you're part and parcel of your thought process. You can't be saying whether you are or aren't overthinking. I was surprised at the amount of money that was spent on him, to be totally honest. He wasn't a regular in the Mumbai side in the season before. He was in and out and got a few starts and then went missing for a while. There's this performance at the back end that sort of showed them.
They dropped him in the middle last season just as a shake-up. And they said, let's bring him back in. And Saurabh Tiwari played a few games.
Exactly. So, and also now that you've played international cricket, I don't know, it's a hard pill to swallow where it's, I was overthinking and thinking about the finish. No, your job as an opening batter is to go out there and play the way you can and play the best possible way that's good for you. And you do think about it. Of course you think about it. Think about what you're doing. And then if you get into a situation where you've got yourself set and you can finish the game, well, think about it again and get the game finished. It's like, you can't be...
get it done.
Yeah, I understand like over making it too complex for yourself with about how you do or don't want to play. But anyway.
Yeah, muddled, right, Michael? It was just, you could tell that it was a muddled mind, perhaps from the responsibility of a team wanting you so bad. Forget the price tag. A player doesn't decide that, right? Let's forget that for a second. And there's enough retentions, and now in the 10 teams, enough players who are getting more money. So let's forget about the money. But the fact that it became such big news, they're really going after you, and now you've got to deliver. It becomes a thing, and it was obviously playing on his mind a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's given a statement like that that's overthought the statement tells you that he's thinking far too much.
See ball, hit ball. Come on,
Well,
Ishan.
he looks. I don't know him, but he looks to me like he's a natural player that has a nice bat swing. And when he's played best, he gets still on the release of the ball. And he probably just thinking of one thing and hitting the ball. You know, I guess with the price tag and pressure, you can forget to just do the simple things, which he's thinking, by the way. And whatever happens in cricket, you are thinking. You know, it's a hard game. You have to think to watch the ball. You're thinking, but maybe he's just got too many thoughts going through his mind. And as soon as you start thinking you need a big score, you're forgetting actually to get off the mark. You're forgetting to just get to 5, get to 10, then you get to 15, then you get to 20. If you go out thinking, I need a 70, I need to win the game for the team, your mindset is already away from where you need to be, which is in the here and now. And I guess, and I understand with the modern player, particularly with the pressures that they're under, and the pressure probably that they get put under also by social media and interaction. It's harder, I guess, to stay in the here and now because of all this outside external noise that becomes very obvious to the players these days. But the better players seem to be able to clear that to one side and just watch the ball and try and whack it. That's somehow what he needs to do.
You got to play. Maybe there's a left-handed opener on across the aisle. Ishan can look at him and learn from him. I'm talking about Devon Conway, and Devon Conway has just been on fire for Chennai. And we've spoken about it so much since the auction. He's the Chennai player. He's a Chennai kind of player. He's the kind of player that Dhoni likes. Just no fuss, getting his job done. And that's what he's been doing. And if Rituraj Gaikwad gets going as well, you look at that batting order. They're batting first at D.Y. Patil, and you're saying, well, it's not too bad, no pressure, just go out. And if their openers can get them some runs, and then they can do anything with the batting order, right? I mean, these two have got the best opening stand in the tournament. 182 is what they've done, and they've got, I think, another one after that or two. Yeah, so they've done one with the century stands. And you have Moeen Ali, Shivam Dubey, who's been an enforcer for them, Ambati Raidu, Robin Uthappa, MS Dhoni, who at 41, 42 is hitting it cleaner than he was maybe last season or the season before. So, yeah, they've got a fair bit of batting that's coming up. What do you think they're going to get? Let's do our score guesses in. Chennai batting first, D.Y. Patil. What should they going to get? Last night was also D.Y. Patil, right? Where Rajasthan played for the 160 pass score, which...
Yeah, you've got to go first. You've got to
go first today. All right.
You're right next to the ground.
Oh, today's Wankhede. Yeah, today's Wankhede. Sorry. So I'm saying it's going to be 182.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm going 177.
177.
I'm going 172.
172. We had an entire field to park our cars, but yet we've just jammed them next to each other. Paulie can't even open his doors now. He's got to get out from the boot. Right? 172, 177, 182. We're jammed right in. All right, we've got a joy factor question here as well. And Joy this time has actually, I think, Michael, he sent this question for you. I think he has. Who is the most famous triple centurion for the Nantwich Cricket Club? Easy peasy.
Got it.
Easy as pie.
It's the first one I've ever got.
You've got it, right?
Well, we thought we had one the other day, and we thought it was Darren Goff, which was Dickie Bird.
We keep trying.
So, don't count your chickens, but I'm backing you. If you've said it so quickly, I'm backing you.
Yeah, I've got it.
Excellent. A clue, maybe, just something. Which year, somewhere, around when, something.
All I can say is in the game that he scored the triple century, I think his team, it was a 45-over game, and I think his team won by 463.
What?
45-over game, the player gets a triple century, and I'm pretty sure they won by 463.
I don't even know if that's legal. That just can you beat somebody by 463 runs? Actually, they won by 500 runs, I'm told. By my minions here, Michael. They're telling me it's 500 runs. 500? Are you serious? That's insane. All right, Retro Reels, let's tell you about that before we go, because the new episode that's out tomorrow, it's got some amazing stuff. You'll love these stories. ABD and Kohli, the grandstand between them. We've got 2 red ball legends of Pakistan and Manchester City winning a thriller in 2012 and a lot more. So you can watch that exclusively on Cricbuzz Plus. That's Retro Reels, Joy Bhattacharya's new show, which drops every Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. Ooh, okay. So we've got our score predictions. We've got Joy Factor. We've got Retro Reels. Is all the paperwork done? Admin, all done? Anything else? About the GST filings, I'll tell them. It's no problem. All right. So 172, 177, and my guess was 162, right? That's my guess. 162? Okay, cool. No, because Conway's just gotten out, so I'm trying to cheat now. 182. No, I'll stick, man. I'll stick. Shouldn't have talked him up, huh? Just talked him up, and there he is, gone for a duck. Okay, it happens, man. It happens. It's okay. It happens. We'll see you at the end of the 10th over with the Cricbuzz Combox. A big thank you to Shaun Pollock and Michael Vaughan. I'm Gaurav Kapur. This was Cricbuzz Live.